Hi there, I'm Ros Atkins, and as you can see, where World Cup Have Your Say leads, England follows. We're back in the UK, but unlike Fabio Capello's men, our involvement in the tournament continues. And today, all the talk is of technology. Most of you will have seen this. England were 2-1 down when Frank Lampard struck a shot against the bar, and as we can see, it bounced well beyond the goal line, but no goal was given, much to the irritation of English players and fans around the world. And if FIFA Sepp Blatter hoped that Germany running away with it would make the issue go away, then he was in for a disappointment. Many of you will also have seen this. At Soccer City, Mexico had started really brightly before succumbing to Argentina's advances. Tevez looked so far offside, I thought he was using that old playground tactic of goal hanging. Anyway, either way, the goal stood and the situation was made worse by the big screen operator in Soccer City accidentally rerunning the goal for all the players and the crowd to see. As you can imagine, the Mexicans weren't too impressed. All of which brings us back to technology. Most other sports use it, so is football woefully out of touch or admirably committed to making sure that we're all playing the same game, whether it's at your local park or in the World Cup final? We're very much live here on BBC World News, and you're welcome to join in. Here's how. Call us on country code 44 20 70 83 72 72. You can text us from your mobile phone on country code 44 7786 20 60 80, or you can email us at worldhaveyoursay@bbc.com, or add a comment on the blog at worldhaveyoursay.com. And if that weren't enough options for you, we're also available on Twitter and on Facebook. Get all the details at worldhaveyoursay.com. Keeping me company here in the studio over the next half an hour is James Ankobia, a Ghana fan. Nice tie, James.
Thank you very much.
You must be very excited. Black Stars through the quarters. They look good against the States.
Definitely very excited. They've exceeded all our expectations, and we're just buzzing right now. Every Ghanaian fan is buzzing right now.
And you started scoring goals, which was something you weren't really doing up to that point.
We can score goals in open play, so we're all excited, all optimistic.
Great to have you on the programme. Let's bring in three other guests. We have Desiree Ellis. She's a former South African women's football fan. She's in Cape Town. Baff Akoto has directed the fabulous Football Fables. That's a great documentary about Ghanaian football. He's live with us from Newcastle. And last but not least, for the moment, Jesus Diaz from the website gizmodo.com. And Jesus, let me start with you. I've got an email here from Kim, who's posted at trion.com, saying, football's the most popular game in the world. Why change it? What would you say to her?
Well, it's not a matter about changing it. It's a matter of making it fair in the professional competitions, in the European leagues, in the World Cup. There's a lot of millions of dollars at stake, and I think the FIFA and all the organizations should take care of that.
Desiree, what do you think about this?
I agree, because it's not just millions of dollars at stake, but I mean, this is the World Cup. We've seen teams getting relegated. We've seen teams winning leagues, and I think, you know, not for each and every decision, but something's got to happen, something's got to change.
Let me pull up an email on this. We're getting hundreds into the BBC on this issue of technology, as you can imagine. Let me pull one up on the screen from Pato Nazir in Malawi, who says, he's posted this on our Facebook page, we don't need technology in our game, we need drama. England have to accept that they are miles behind the game. Well, Pato, I think you're very much... no one's going to disagree with you about England after their performances over the last 4 games. The issue of technology, though, is a more difficult one. Baff Akoto, where do you stand on it?
I mean, it's all about credibility, you know. It's not about whether people play the same game at the playground as they do in the stadium. The World Cup is the pinnacle of our sport. It's like the Formula One or couture modelling. You know, that's the arena where this sort of thing should be tried and tested and should be brought in. Because it makes a mockery when 2 billion people see it at home and it's clearly a mistake. I just don't get the reasoning behind people like Sepp Blatter. And I saw John Motson, national treasure, I love him to bits, but he was saying he didn't agree with technology either. I don't get the reasoning behind it.
John Motson's a very, very well-known BBC Sports commentator. But Baff, for everyone watching who's thinking, no, I don't agree with this, or I don't understand how it's going to work, set out, briefly if you would, your vision. What technology do you want introduced? How does it work? And which issues will it apply to?
It's very simple. The template for this is already being rolled out in sports like cricket, rugby, tennis, and you've got the Hawkeye system. You don't have to have a camera even. You can just have some sort of sonic technology that sees whether the entire ball has crossed the line, which is the letter of the law. If people are worried about the pace of the game it's a non-issue. You know, basketball in America, American sports have the timeout concept. You have a set amount of chances to stop the game. In tennis now as well, you got a set amount of appeals, and you can choose to use those appeals wisely. If each side has 3 appeals per match, they're not going to be stopping the game
put the onus on
willy-nilly.
the player. This is one of the interesting discussions we've had on BBC World Service Radio a couple of hours ago. Do you put the onus on the players to call when you introduce technology, or do you leave that to the refs? James, what do you think about this?
It's the managers.
I think it should be the manager's decision, but I'm not 100% on having this appeal system for stuff like offside. I'm with the goal line technology 100%, because that's absolute. If the ball's crossed the line, it's crossed the line. If it hasn't, it hasn't. And I think that can happen in a matter of seconds. But whereas the disputing decisions made by the referee, like offside decisions and stuff like that, that's all on interpretation. So if the manager's made an appeal, that's got to go up for video referee to look at it, and that's another human being looking at it. And it might not be as clear-cut as it always seems. Even when they run the replays back, sometimes there's room for argument and debate. So that's another human being making a judgment call.
But Desiree, you've played football to the highest standard in South Africa, but a lot of our community who go to World Have Your Say on Facebook in Africa are saying, hold on, we're not going to be able to afford this even at league level. So what exactly are you suggesting? That you only have technology for the rich European club sides and for international football? Who has it and who doesn't?
I think at local club level it might be a bit difficult, but when you play professional football, then I think to a certain extent that should be done. We've seen it, like you said, it's been done in cricket, it's been done in rugby, it's been done in tennis, and it's all been modified to suit the sport. So we just need to find a common ground where we can find something to suit football, and it doesn't have to be every decision. I mean, for example, when the ball goes over the line, you know, especially the goal line, I think that is going to be so important. We saw a few years ago when Man United played Tottenham Hotspur, where the goalkeeper took it out from way behind, and that actually cost Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm sure that, in a way, helped United to win the league. But I believe that we need to find a common ground of how we're going to be able to do this, because yes, England might have lost 4-1, but I think that was the turning point, with them just having scored their first goal, being 2-0 down, and then just getting the second just before half-time. If I was the opponents, I would have been completely deflated. Eventually, they went on to lose 4-1 because they were always chasing the game.
A couple more emails here. Kevin in Cameroon says, let the Black Stars keep going. The gods of African football are with them. That certainly looks that way at the moment. And here's another point from Arundam in India, who says, technology should be used as much as possible. Cricket and tennis have not lost their charm due to the use of technology. Jesus, do you think that we could maintain the things that we love about football if you introduce technology?
Yeah, absolutely. I think most of these technology introductions will be transparent for the players. I mean, like the offside technology, you can use positioning for the players, and it will be, it will be there, and nobody will be able to argue about it. And yeah, I think it's completely compatible. I think it's compatible and necessary.
OK, well, if you're watching wherever you are on watching BBC World News, you can call us up. It's country code 44 2070 83 72 72. If you didn't get that number down, I know it's not the catchiest. You can get the details at worldhaveyoursay.com. Let's bring in Fred Bidell. He's an Iranian-American Brazil fan who's calling from Tennessee in the United States. That's a combination we haven't had on the programme before. Fred, great to speak to you.